Friends, welcome. And in this session, we are going to discuss a very interesting topic: how electronic retailing is practiced in the business to consumer arena, and what are all its related characteristics as well as advantages and limitations. Why this particular topic is very important in the context of this particular course on Phygital retailing is, today the share of B2C electronic retailing is highly growing, and at the same time it is considerable in terms of its size. Let it be a marketplace or let it be a pure play e-commerce player, whatever be the case, the business to consumer market is always on the rise, and it is not just focused on one particular category of products or services, rather it is spread across several product categories. Let it be a personal care products, or it could be apparel, or it could be even accessories, and sometimes it is also with reference to some of the personal care and cosmetic products. Sometimes it is also related to the electronic gadgets. So there is a spectrum of product categories where this B2C is predominant, and at the same time there is a lot of growth potential for the brands as well as some of the regional players who are aiming for a bigger reach through this electronic retail. So given that particular context, I think this particular session adds a lot of importance to the entire course of Phygital retailing, and let's see what are all there in stock. First, let me introduce what is this business to consumer transaction. The business to consumer transaction, basically it refers to all that transactions that occur between one company and its own consumer group. And in this case of electronic retailing, companies like Amazon, Dell, they have a very strong online presence where they try to deliver the best of customer experience, and thereby they want to sell their products and services wherein the customers log into their website and probably browse for products, and if they are convinced about these products, they place orders and also they pay online, and thereby a transaction gets completed. So please try to understand one thing: the sale is happening only when the payment is being acknowledged or honored. So it is not that people may log into your website, just have a glance at various products that you are offering, and sometimes they even add these products to the cart, but end of that particular session, if the transaction is not completed, then it is not equivalent to a sale. So definitely what the electronic retailers, especially in this particular B2C context, they aim for is not just consumers adding the products to the cart. It is very important for them to complete the transaction, and thereby the product is considered to be sold. So this is something which we all should look for. So in order to make this happen, what are all the things that they need to practice? That is something which again has its own relevance. So this B2C electronic retailing, basically it refers to the direct sale of products which are not just about sold by a particular retailer. Sometimes if you take a electronic marketplace like Amazon or Flipkart, where there are a lot of products and a lot of brands, they compete against each other in order to get the attraction of the customers. So this e-tailing, it refers to the direct sale of these products. Sometimes information is being sold, or sometimes the services are being sold through all the virtual stores that are available on the web, which is designed around an electronic catalog format and auction sites. It's not necessarily that it has to happen in a kind of catalog format alone. Sometimes eBay kind of online platforms, they offer the scope for auctioning also. And another important thing that you need to understand is the success of internet buying and selling is encouraged more traditional retailers to create an online presence. Now, being a pure play retailer, that too in the physical format, may not be a good idea, because given the growth and at the same time given the various future prospects that we are listing, which are in favor of the electronic retailing, definitely even the traditional retailers now, at least they want to create a social media page and a basic website wherein they want to get the customers the convenience of buying online. So it is a subset of e-commerce by nature, which all of us can understand. So this is the online store where the B2C transactions happen, and if you look at it, you will also understand that first the customer logs on to the online store, where the online store offers plenty of products as per the choice of customers, and customers also have the choice of browsing a specific product line and try to identify which would probably suit them. And once this online store, the customers are getting in and then started browsing. Now the biggest challenge for the online retailers is how to retain the interest of the customers, because sometimes we ourselves as consumers, when we log into an online store, sometimes we find that the entire map, or rather the the total framework with which the website is being developed, we are not pretty much convinced. So we may try to finally say that no, we are not really into buying buying products from this particular retailer. So it's better, let's quit, let's come out, let's log out. So that's the kind of feel we may get. But if you look at those successful electronic retailers, they have a very good, attractive and engaging online presence, which means that customers will never find these sites boring or not so customer friendly to operate. So in such case, I'm sure customers will definitely be there for sometimes browsing various products, and they'll also be presented with the offers which probably the customers may feel very much interested, and sometimes the customers may even end up buying the products. And while buying the product, then again the integration of payment facility should be there in the website, where the customer must be able to select a payment gateway and then complete the payment process. And once the payment process is done, the sale has happened, and now the very important process of expediting the delivery, it gets initiated. So probably the notification goes to the warehouse where the product is available, and that is being packed and probably sent to the customer's place and through a particular delivery mechanism. So this is how, friends, if you look at it, a 6-stage delivery process that happens in the electronic retailing. And as I told you earlier, every single stage there are plenty of challenges that are available for these online stores, because today customers are looking for one of the best experiences which could probably drive sales for the company or probably drive sales for the brand, but at the same time customer loyalty or the interest level with which they come back, visit quite often and buy frequently from that store is the key for success. What are the components that would probably helps these electronic retailers? The first one is attractive B2C e-commerce portal. So the very design of the website or the portal, that carries a lot of importance, because in the B2C context, it is very important that the e-commerce portal and its design are developed in such a way that it gives you plenty of attractions to the customers. The second one is you should have the right revenue model. Yes, there are offers, there are price points that are very attractive for the customers, but what is more important, what is more and more important is you should have the right revenue model. Apart from selling the products at profit, can you come up with some kind of an advertisements or a kind of microsite promotion inside? These things would probably help the consumers to get the best of the products at the best of the offers. The penetration of internet as another important component has given the B2C e-commerce portals the best of access to people even living in the remotest part of the country, thanks to the initiatives of Government of India in terms of connecting those remotest consumer to the world of e-commerce through the various initiatives like BharatNet, Digital India program and things like that. And the e-catalog, which is probably designed in such a way that the consumers will get close to a real life kind of an experience where they can browse through the various products and even they can see a smaller short video about the product demo kind of things. Then the shopping cart, which is basically your shopping basket in a physical environment where these products are being added, because sometimes what happens, as we all know, that the options are two. One is buy now or add to cart. Many a times the consumers may think that, okay, this product seems good, but at the same time I'm not very sure, or I am not pretty sure that I have to buy it right away. So let me just hold it. So this hold option is what actually add to cart. So the product gets moved to the shopping cart and the consumers will also build stock in the shopping cart, which is the temporary consideration consideration set of products. And again, the payment gateway which facilitates the transaction, and the payment gateway and its integration into the e-commerce portal should be done with a lot of care, because this is where the entire e-commerce portal, it serves the very purpose and adds to the convenience of people to make payments, that too in a very safe and secured manner, and finally the entire sale is considered to happen. And then there are certain support services are also required in retailing. One is the communication, which is the backbone of the entire retail. How are you going to get it's like, sometimes you get alerts, sometimes you get confirmation messages that your transaction has been honored and your order is being placed and accepted kind of thing. Then the payment mechanism, which you should also feel quite comfortable in terms of having a feeling that I have done this particular thing in a very safe and secured manner. And another important thing is the order fulfillment process, where how after the sale is happening, how the order is being processed, what kind of processes that take place post your payment and order placement process. And this is where how quickly the company or specifically the e-commerce portal is able to probably expedite your order in the best possible way, and that too in the fastest way that is possible. So the order fulfillment process is not just about placing the order itself, it is how the order is being honored, how the order is being processed at the back end, so that the customer receives the product on time. So you need to have a proper facility or support service in place. Then you have the logistics, which sometimes the order gets delivered from a nearby place. So the proximity will help you to get the orders on time as well as at the earliest possible time. But there are certain situations where the order is sourced from a far off place because the seller is not located very close to the customer place. In that case, the logistics plays a very important part in getting the product on time or at the earliest possible time. Sometimes we try to cancel the orders for a simple reason that it takes more time for us to get the order, get the product delivered. So in such cases, definitely logistics plays a very important role, because they are the ones who are serving at the last mile between the product and the consumer. So these are all some of the support services that are definitely going to add a lot of value for the B2C e-commerce players, retailers, and their role is not just about delivering the products and delivering the best of buying experience once in a while. What is more important is the consistency with which they do, and if there is a scope, they should also improve upon the kind of commitments they give. Some of the online marketplaces are promising that the products can be delivered on the same day delivery, and they also come with the tag. This is one another way by which they urge the customers to place the order at the earliest, because if you want to get the order tomorrow, you have to place the order in the next 1.5 hours. So the timer also starts ticking. So this is another interesting factor that we also observe when we are browsing or purchasing online. So these are all the very important components that the e-commerce retailers are also aware that they are adding a lot of value, and they are also trying to improvise, bring in the best of experiences with the help of artificial intelligence, machine learning, all those kind of stuff. And these components are being improved over a period of time, and definitely all these are done to deliver superior customer experience in the online space. What are the various characteristics with which we can call e-tail venture as a successful one? The first one is high brand recognition. When I say high brand recognition is the one which is very important for any online retailer. Why I am saying this is because the online retailers, they create a brand equity for themselves. Let's take the example of Amazon, or for that matter Flipkart. So they give the space wherein it is not being built over a night or over a period of few months. It is built over a period of few years, where the e-tailers will have the high brand recognition, and this will drive a lot of traffic into the online space which is owned by these online retailers. And another important thing is the guarantee that is provided by highly reliable or well-known vendors. Okay, please read it as a guarantee provided by highly reliable or well-known vendors. It's a single point. And if you look at it again, the vendors, how popular they are, how reliable they are, because end of the day, the success of the e-tailer depends on the quality of vendors they deal with. They should be very supportive, they should be genuine, and at the same time they should be there with good customer intention, good intention to serve the customers. Only then, with the help of these kind of reliable and well-known vendors, the e-tail venture will become very successful. So this is the second most important characteristic, the kind of vendors whom we are dealing with. Third one is the digitization. How well your entire process gets digitized, whether it is having the user in mind, whether the format is user centric, whether the entire process is getting digitized with consumers in mind. Then relatively inexpensive items. Because why people come to e-tail platform to buy the products? Because they know very well that when they buy the product in a physical store, obviously the prices seems to be on the higher side. We cannot blame the physical retailers for that, because the very business model is like that, wherein the e-tailers have certain advantages over these physical retailers by way of certain cost control mechanisms, and obvious nature of being an e-tailer is also adding a lot of advantages in terms of bringing down the price of the product so that they can offer it at a very competitive price. So relatively inexpensive items is another important characteristics which would definitely lead these e-tailers to success. No doubt about that. Then the products that are frequently purchased, they must be available online, because if these products are not available, then customers will always be doubting the ability of the e-tailer to satisfy their needs, especially with reference to items that are of which are highly wanted, and which are being purchased at a particular frequency. Then commodities with standard specifications should be available, because not that every product the consumers want it as a branded one. Sometimes we buy commodities also. When these commodities are not very much holding the differentiation in terms of branding, then they look for certain specifications which are standard specifications. So definitely these commodities are also to be sold with standard specification by these retailers for successful for the success of their venture. Then the well-known packaged items that cannot be opened even in a traditional store. So some of the items which probably may not be available in the traditional store, they should also be making it available online. So all these items will help you in terms of seeing what is inside. Normally in a physical store they hesitate to open these items, because if the product is not sealed properly, then the customers may have a suspicion that this is a used product. So same way in an online store this is not an issue. So the well-known packaged items can be opened and they can see, because everything is animated, and that will give you a feeling of how it looks inside. So that is another interesting characteristic. So how you are bringing in the choreography and how you are making this entire experience of customers to make it more easier and popular. That is another important characteristics of this successful retailers. Moving forward, what sells well on the internet? Because we need to know what is trending products online. As we all know that the customer preferences also getting changed, and sometimes the online retailers, they also bring in a kind of trends into the portal, online e-commerce portal, that becomes the headlines for customers buying online. Travel is one thing. Of late, if you look at it, the travel as services are definitely growing. There are a lot of travel sites, booking.com, makemytrip.com, yatra.com. Okay. So these are all the sites where people, they book their travel. When they book their travel, it's not just about they book their flights or trains or buses. They also book their stay. They also book their cabs. They also book some of the events that are happening at the place where they are planning to visit. So travel is one that is trending online. Second one is computer hardware and software. This is one category where there is a very steady growth, especially with reference to the consumers buying from online stores. Computer hardware and software products, because software products are being delivered through email very easily. If I buy a software from a physical store, gone are those days, right? Today I can order the product online and it gets delivered to my email inbox. Okay. And third thing is consumer electronics. Yes, right from gadgets to accessories to some of the electronic products like televisions. All these are again making a big share of online sales. And next one is jewelry. Jewelry, don't think that it is the gold jewelry or diamond jewelry, precious stones. No, even the imitations jewelry, they have a huge market in the online space. Cars are also being sold. Of course, I must say jewelry means just about only imitation. Even gold jewelry, because some of the leading jewelry stores, they also operate online. So sometimes people visit the physical store and buy online. That particular possibility also exists. Then cars are also sold online. Maybe it's not selling the car, probably car booking, especially when a new model is being launched by a specific automobile company, then definitely they also look for an opportunity to attract customers, and they want to give the convenience to the customers of either booking the test drive online or sometimes even making the down payment or booking money online and book the car. Then office supplies, stationery, even to an extent I would say some files and other furnitures are also being bought. Then sports and fitness goods. Now this market is growing like anything thanks to the demographic dividend that we enjoy in the Indian market. A lot of youngsters, they prefer buying these sports and fitness goods from online stores. Books and music. Again, the advantage of these online stores, selling the electronic version of books, which is considerably cheaper when compared to, a paperback kind of thing. And music, of course, now we have a specific e-commerce portals or apps, mobile apps, where you can listen to music, download music. Toys is another one category. So these are all the trending products. These are not given in the same order in which they are being preferred or bought. The order is just a random order, but these are all the items which are selling like hotcakes. Let us not forget about that. And another important thing is these products are definitely driving the online sales in India, and I would even say the global trends are not very different from what we observe in Indian market. So definitely these trending products are definitely driving this e-commerce, no doubt about that. Then what are the advantages of being in B2C arena in an e-commerce context? The first one is price and selection. The e-commerce players, especially the e-tailers in this context, they have the price advantage. Selection of products becomes quite easy, and sometimes they also go for suggestive selling. Sometimes we find that people who bought this also bought. There is a list of suggestions that flashes out, which is probably enabled by your AI and ML. And that is a huge advantage. Sometimes customers, when they get confused about which one to buy, these type of features will definitely add as an advantage. Then opportunities to reach new markets. Today, the global market boundaries gets extended, or I would even say sometimes it becomes irrelevant. Thanks to the connectivity that we have, the World Wide Web connects customers from two different poles to come and transact. So these opportunities to reach new markets is another biggest advantage. So you need not have to worry about concentrating on consumers in your close proximity as what these physical retailers would do. Being an electronic retailer, this opportunity of reaching out to new markets will make your sales, make your profits and revenues bigger and bigger day by day. Then it provides home shopping experience. You need not have to step out of your home, be in the traffic, drive down a shorter distance but for longer hours. End of the day, sitting at home in a very relaxed way and browsing the products at ease, and then choosing which one would probably will fit your requirements. So the decision making also becomes quite easier. Then extension to leverage skills and grow profits for retailers without creating new business. You need not have to create a new business, because you can create any number of online businesses as well. It's quite easier, it's quite cheaper, cost effective, and this would probably help you to leverage your existing skills in retail. Then you can also get valuable insights from customers in terms of their reviews, the way they respond to your products and services. Then 24 hours shopping. So this 24/7 presence of these retailers is a huge advantage, because when one market sleeps, the other market wakes up. So that way you do business 24 hours for all 7 days, all 365 days. That is a huge advantage, unlike physical stores where you have constraints in terms of the operation hours. Reasonable cost. Let us understand that building a electronic retail business model is very cost effective when compared to a physical retail format. Given these advantages, I would rather say that the electronic retailers are at a very advantageous position against these factors compared to the physical retailers. Of course, there are other factors that decide whether you want to be in the physical space or only in the electronic space. But still, given these factors, I would rather tell you that they put these electronic retailers in the very advantageous position. To customers, if you look at it, as I mentioned, it adds to their convenience. Customers can sit relaxed at home and transact, finish buying the products, get updates about their order status, delivery updates, tracking of your consignment quite easily. Then better information, you get better information about the product, its availability, the various offers that are going on. So the customers will never get disappointed in this particular aspect with reference to the availability and dissemination of information. Pricing, a market like India where customers are highly price sensitive, these retailers are pricing their products in a very competitive way, and this would probably drive a lot of customer traffic online. Then customization, there is also possibility of customizing your product. Of course, there are certain limits to that, but again I would say that at the click of the mouse, your customization is ready. That is again a huge advantage to the consumers, and which would probably make them look at online retail or e-tail as a good option. Then shopping anywhere, anytime, as I told you in the previous slide, this 24/7 gives you a huge advantage. Then the selection, wide range of products. Physical stores will have constraints of space, whereas the e-tailers have no space constraints. So they try to offer as many products as possible. They give you a wide range of products, and thereby you will be in a position to understand this online portal gives you more choices when compared to the physical stores. To business, if you look at it, global reach, as I told you, you can serve your customers in the best way that is possible. There is low capital that is required compared to setting up a store physically. Mass customization, which would help you to cater to the needs of customers in large numbers. Then targeted marketing. Today you have a lot of analytics that are available, with which you will be able to target a specific market with a specific offer for a specific product. So targeted marketing is another huge advantage. And there are more value added services like suggestions, sometimes updates, and sometimes information about the products that are still staying on the cart. Why don't you look at it? The prices have dropped, thereby you can motivate customers to buy. So you can add a lot of value added services, and thereby try to get the best advantages of the e-tail format for your business. Having said that, it doesn't mean that e-tailing is always rewarding and always advantageous. No. Remember one thing, it has a lot of limitations as well. It lacks emotional shopping experience. Always the feel of touch. The very experience of feel and touch is something that lacks in the online format. And it is exposed to intangible merchandise, which sometimes, customers may not get connected with that easily, because it doesn't provide the sensory support to the customers. The 5 senses are not getting engaged in an online store, but they are effectively engaged in a physical store. There are cases where, some security issues are also reported with reference to payment. Privacy issues were also reported. Let us not discount that. And it provides impersonal services which the Indian customers are not exposed to. You don't feel like, in a physical store, there will be a salesman with whom I can interact, clarify my doubts. Here, even though we have virtual assistants or, chatbot kind of facility, but still that impersonal service is an impersonal service. It cannot be equated to a kind of physical services that are offered. And it lacks family shopping experience. I cannot, log in with my family for buying a product. Maybe at times I may do, but visiting a physical store with our family as a shopping outing, that kind of an experience definitely these retailers cannot give. And there is always a sense of fraud in the minds of customers. What if they don't deliver the right product? What if they don't deliver the right specification that I have ordered for? Always a sense of fraud or suspicion or risk that is perceived by consumers in the online space. These are considered to be some of the limitations of this online retailers. So friends, with this, I thank you for listening to me. And so far, if you look at it, we have discussed about various characteristics, advantages and limitations of this business to consumer e-commerce retailing. And I'm sure these points are well understood by you, because as consumers, you also have the best of experiences with online. This is something that you and me have practically experienced. So these points you can very well relate to your own experience, and that is something which probably adds more understanding and connect with topics of this kind. So thank you very much for attending this session. I'll be right back with yet another topic. Till then, bye-bye.